Lee Cronin's The Mummy is unleashed in creepy final trailer. Steak is gone sale. So, been, paying attention to this a bit. It's a strange take, but, it's different. So anyway, Universal Blumhouse has released a chilling final trailer. It's the usual creepy stuff you've seen 100 times in other films. But anyway, this looks to be a decidedly darker and more horror-focused take on the classic movie monster than the 2017 Tom Cruise flop and the Indiana Jones-inspired franchise starring Brendan Fraser. Yeah, the Brendan Fraser movies are great, but they were action-adventure. It's Indiana Jones. More than not. There's some horror elements. The monster is a monster, but it's action-adventure. Tom Cruise, that did have more horror elements in it, but it was still kind of trying to be action-adventure and didn't really work out. But anyway, the story focuses on a child named Katie, who reappears after vanishing in the desert 8 years prior, only to begin manifesting some terrifying new character traits. The trailer suggests that Cronin has taken a more demonic possession approach than most previous adaptations of the original story, which typically feature an ancient Egyptian ruler being resurrected to seek vengeance when their tomb is disturbed. Yeah, that's the story of the Mummy. This is just The Exorcist in a lot of ways. Cronin admitted that his film isn't really a mummy movie at all. Yeah, it isn't. It's coming from a very different place. It's not even a reinvention of mummy lore. Well, kinda. It's looking into darker places and doing something different with what we think we might already know. It's an insane mashup to suggest, but this film is almost one part Poltergeist and one part Seven. No, it's one part Exorcist, one part Seven. But put through my lens and the way that I like to entertain people. If you want to see firsthand how Cronin likes to entertain people, go check out the thrillingly nasty Evil Dead Rise. Well, I was okay with that film. I mean, Evil Dead, that's a Sam Raimi thing. And once Bruce Campbell took it over, when he became Ash, really, by the end of the second movie, yeah, without him, it's like, it was a horror movie. Yeah. Anyway, there was talk of disastrous test screenings for this movie, with one report claiming that producer James Wan even walked out. Good Lord. We have no idea if there's any truth to this, but we decided to say it anyway. But the teasers seem to have gone over pretty well with horror fans for the most part. So there's the trailer. I won't play it because I never know what the rules are, but you can check it out. It's out there. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Just look that up and you'll get it. Warner Brothers is a Universal and Blumhouse and Warner. Weird how that works, but anyway. As for, Universal getting back to The Mummy, you wouldn't think this would be how it would go, but I guess they figured the basic Mummy story doesn't work, but they are bringing back Brendan Fraser for that, but that won't really be a horror thing. Anyway, hot off the record-setting resurrection of Evil Dead Rise, writer-director Lee Cronin turns to one of the most iconic horror stories of all time with an audacious and twisted retelling. Well, he's not really taking it on. He's changed it almost completely. There's the mummy wrappings, there's a sarcophagus, but young daughter of a journalist disappears into the desert without a trace. 8 years later, the broken family is shocked when she is returned to them, as what should be a joyful reunion turns into a living nightmare. The movie's set for theatrical release on April 17th, so won't be here. I mean, it'll be here pretty quick. Anyway, there's everybody starring in it and everybody who produced it, directed and stuff. But I guess James Wan might have gotten pretty pissed off at it. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, he says Poltergeist. Nah, not really. More Exorcist. And what was the other one he said? It's part 7. Well, yeah, all the creepy, nasty stuff. And you see some of that in the trailer. Yeah, there's quite a bit of that in there. and just a bunch of other movies you've seen from The Ring on down and stuff like that. So basically, from what I can tell, I think some weird cult, there usually is one, maybe that lines in with some of the mummy movies you saw, especially some of the Hammer films. Some Egyptians who still believed in their pagan religions and whatnot, and sorcery and all that. And they took this girl and performed some ritual to be a vessel for one of their gods, which is probably a demonic force. And when the girl is brought back to her parents, it's not her. It's some evil entity that's taken control of her. And then, in this, you weren't supposed to release the evil, but you did, and whatever. And she attacks the family, and it's terrible. But ultimately, do they ever recover the daughter? Probably not. I think the daughter's dead. Or they have a little happy ending, and she comes back, and yay. Yeah, maybe. But it's a strange approach to it, and it just you don't know how to do the Mummy based on its own story, apparently. So that's too bad. So it's on to the Brendan Fraser movies, which, will be an adventure movie. I imagine there'll have to be some kind of handoff to the children. That'll be adults by now. So there's that, So I guess that's something to look forward to. But as far as a horror outline for it, you're out of luck. Except this, which, again, takes from other movies that got nothing to do with mummies. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll work, but I just don't know.